G'day. I'm over at a friend's place today collecting olives from their trees. They've matured a bit earlier than the ones at my own property, and the folks here, they're not really into processing their own fruit, so I've come to claim them. The end result is, what I'm trying to do here is make a video, probably in a couple of parts, to show people how you can process your own olives, or like here, olives of a friend. It is going to be pretty straightforward. First part, picking's pretty straightforward. Hand picking olives is a pain in the butt, but it doesn't change the fact that they're a beautiful thing to have on your table. So in the first video, what I'm planning to do is take you through how you prepare your olives, basically from the beginning of collection, harvest, to soaking to get rid of the bitterness of the tannins, and then how you can make simple brines to store them. So I'll get on with picking, I guess. I'm not doing too bad. Fair bit more picking to do though. When you're picking your olives, look for anything that shows any indication of damage in the fruit. You don't want that. Birds will love it. Now, larger fruit is always more advantageous to pick, and that's because it's easier to pit later if you decide you want to pit your fruit. Of course, you don't have to, but if that floats your boat, big fruit. All right, got enough to get me started, so I'll get into the kitchen. Let's start having a look at how you can process this fruit. It's always really important to give your olives a good wash. Lost a few. Now these have been out in the rain, so I'm not going to be too worried about that, but you can sort of see that some of the debris will start to float away from them. And the leaf will come out as you go. So the question is, do you want to prick, do you want to slash, or do you want to pit? So there's basically a few methods you can use in the home. Like the first one, the most easy, is just prick a hole in the olive. That's all you really need to do. The next step is to completely slash one or more sides of the olive, completely through it. That way it'll allow more of the bitterness to be soaked away during the soaking process. Another thing you can do is get yourself a cherry pitter. Now a cherry pitter will work with olives perfectly well. They're basically designed to do varied sizes of cherries. So basically the front four bays here can be used to punch out the actual olive pit like it would with a cherry. So you load up your olives in it, it's like a big stapler. Press it like that, you've now got 4 pitted olives. It takes a while, but it's a great method. Okay, my olives have done. So you can see there that a lot of them have been pitted, so they're ready to be soaked. The next step in this process is to leach out the actual tannin, the bitterness that sits in the olive. Now what this requires is that they're soaked for anywhere between 7, for some people, 10 to 14 days. I usually do about 10 days. I like a little bit of that residual bitterness in my olives, but if you don't, let it go longer. So basically the next step now is to put it into a container that they can soak in, and the aim will be to change the water they're soaking in every day. You can't let it go longer. Don't be concerned if you're starting to see any film building on the top of the water. That's completely natural. But yeah, basically soak them for that minimum of 7, more likely 10 to 14 days. And then we move to step 2, jarring and brining. Now the olives need a really good covering with water, and then you need to put something in there that will hold the olives below the surface of the water. In most cases, a simple plate will do the trick. There you go. The actual olives are well immersed. We've got a bit of a, there we go, look at that, bit of a stray flash. But the olives are now completely immersed in this water. So this water will now sit for 24 hours. It'll get changed daily. Every day you'll see that the water will darken from the tannin, but it won't take too much longer and you're going to have some olives ready to put into a jar. So basically, for the demonstration purpose, I'll just show you. Effectively, all you need to do, get your hand in there, hold that plate, and let that water drain away. And refill. Simple as that. So now our olives will be left somewhere reasonably cool, mostly reasonably dark, just to soak off for that, in my case, 10-day period. Changing the water every day, that can't emphasize that enough. Change your water every day. And then by day 10, we'll be ready to brine and store, ready for whatever we do with them in the future. Anyway, that'll be in part 2. I hope you hang around at some point, come back, perhaps like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll get on with jarring and brining. See you next time.